Hi. Wow, what a wonderful day. I just have enjoyed this day so much. And everything that people have been sharing today just has filled my heart so full. I want to mention this one thing that Michelle just said. I think it was Michelle that just said this. A shift in the way of being is the answer to prayer. Ah, that's what I was really that just made a big difference for me. So, welcome to Sounds of Awakening, and I have a lot of music to share with you. I'm going to say Happy Mother's Day to everyone, and it's also my husband Glenn's birthday, so we're going to say Happy Birthday to Glenn, sitting over there in all the colors. I know. So let's start with a song that I am going to be recording for my new CD. And it's a Tara chant. It's a chant to Tara, who is um, a, the divine feminine in the form of Tara. And the chant goes Om Tare Ture Soha. And in short, it means I prostrate to the liberator mother of all the victorious ones. That's us, the victorious ones. And I am combining this with the Course of Miracles lessons that says, I am not a body, I am free. And by calling on, this divine mother energy here on Mother's Day, I'm just really noticing that it's it feels like a protection from danger and a way for us to go deeper into ourselves and look at our fears and have a sincere motivation to just know that we are relieved from those fears and the suffering that we cause ourselves. So I chant this song for the liberation of all beings. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture 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 Soha. I am not my body. I am free. I am the beingness of eternity. I am I trust all life that is one with me, and I trust all life that is one with me. Om tare tu de so ha. 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 Oh, mwah. Thank you. I forgot to ring my bell, and I like ringing my bell, so I'm going to ring it. Here we are at Sounds of Awakening. Another thing I found really helpful today is in the reading of the Tao, where we were talking about not talking so much, but being quiet and listening, and that's something that's really been on my heart too, is to really go within, really, I don't know, I just feel like there's a calmness now within me that I didn't notice before. It's already always been here, but singing that song brings me to that place of calmness. So I really like that. But I'm gonna pick the pace up just a tad. I know, Glenn is saying, what are the odds? I'm going to sing another song for you. I'm having so much fun right now working on my new record, YolandaNanda 2. And we did start recording in April, and it's going really well. We're going to pick it up again starting later this month to finish mixing the first song. But the next song, there's a couple of songs we're going to record that I know Sina actually likes. And this is one that actually is an ode to Shiva. So I love this song so much. I think it's really, really fun. And I mixed this one with the old Christian song, We Are One in the Spirit. So see if you see how you like this one. Oh. I think this is fun. All right, here we go. Jaya Shiva Shankara Boom Boom Hare Hare. Jaya Shiva Shankara Boom Boom Hare Hare. Hare 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 Boom Boom Hare Hare. Hare 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 Boom Boom Hare Hare. Jaya Shiva Shankara Boom Boom Hare Hare. Jaya Shiva Shankara Boom Boom Hare Hare. Hare 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 Boom Boom Hare Hare. Hare 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 Boom Boom Hare Hare. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the love. We are one in the together we'll spread the news that love is in our land. We awaken together by our love, by our love. We awaken together by our love. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah. Love is in our land. Yeah. Jaya Shiva Shankara, boom boom, Hare Hare. Jaya Shiva Shankara, boom boom, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Hare, boom boom, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Hare, boom boom, Hare Hare. Jaya Shiva Shankara, boom boom, Hare Hare. Jaya Shiva Shankara, boom boom, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Hare, boom boom, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Hare, boom boom, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Oh, we awaken together by our love, by our love. Wow. So just a little background on that particular mantra. Boom boom is the sound of the drum Shiva plays while he is transforming the universe. This is really good energy for accepting and actualizing change and transformation. The chant itself and the vibration of the Sanskrit words help to bring about connection to the divine source of all creation and all beings. Yes, 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 yes. Change and transformation. We awaken together by our love. Oh, thank you, Ruby. I appreciate the message in the chat there. That was so cute. Oh, thanks, Saida. Oh, Joe says, happy birthday, Glenn.
Oh.
May 14th was my mother's and my late brother's birthday as well. How about that? Oh, this is really fun. Yay. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start our time with Chanda. Chanda is an amazing, amazing person in so many ways. She's a fabulous jazz singer, which you will hear. And she's a mom, which is perfect for today on Mother's Day. And we're going to pick up with her in this conversation right when she starts talking about her children's book that she wrote. It's called How Butterfly Got Her Beautiful Wings. And I'm all about butterflies, as you can see over here. So I'm really excited about that. And just, you know, she's a very, very dear friend of mine that I went to One Spirit Seminary with. And she moved to Vienna, which is why we had to record. So I'm going to hopefully share my screen easily. So actually that does remind me of what I've been seeing on Facebook and on your website is your book, How Butterfly Got Her Beautiful Wings.
Yes.
I'm just about, I had pulled up the Amazon link to order it, and it says, because I'm on Prime, it says, well, it'll be here by Friday at da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, I won't be in town then, so I'm going to wait till I get back. You know? But I can't wait to have it. It's because, you know, I do work with children and I read books, so I'm really excited to
oh my God, I would be so honored.
Yes, I really want to. And my big thing about, I work with Drag Story Hour here in New York City, and my big thing about that I do with Drag Story Hour when it's the little kids is dress like a monarch butterfly. So
get out.
No,
Are you
so
serious?
there's just so many ways that we connect, you know. So Um,
Listen, if you
please
find
tell
yourself
us.
here in Vienna, we just started our first drag story hour for kids on
Really?
Sunday. Yes.
I
And
knew it
so,
had. That's amazing. I knew it had become international, but I
Mhm.
didn't. I didn't know if you had it there. Oh my goodness,
Yes. I mean, yeah, yeah,
that's
we
fantastic!
do. So,
Wow. I'll have to come to Austria.
yes,
That would be fun.
that would be fun.
Anyway, tell us about the book. Tell us about the book.
Okay, so the book. I know we were talking about how I got started writing these stories at
Yeah.
Union, and that was actually part of my thesis project.
Ah,
Um, and
okay.
so I was, oh goodness, now I can't remember. It was I was inspired by a story in Exodus, and now I can't remember the actual chapter verses, but it's a
Yeah.
story of the midwives.
Oh, okay.
And oh gosh, what was the story? ah, um, oh my gosh, it's a story about stories and changing stories, and the stories at the mid. Wait, so oh gosh, there were some midwives, and they were asked to tell us what they were hiding people. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the story now. But listen.
It's okay.
There were so many different stories that I got out of this text.
Hmm.
Um, and the main one being that these women rewrote a story for the people.
Oh,
They rewrote a
interesting.
story. And
Okay.
so one of the things that I got out of this was this butterfly, the story that I
Uh,
wrote for kids.
hmm.
And this butterfly, in my story, this was before the birds became like the news carriers. And in my
Oh,
story,
right.
the butterflies were the news carriers, and that the
Oh.
butterfly used to have like this loud voice, and they would announce like the news. And so this butterfly got bored because the news was not as exciting as she wanted it to be. So she started to change the news. She
Okay.
started to make it like more exciting. So right. So I tell a few of those. You know, when Bear woke up from the the winter slumber, and the bear was like just wanted to see everybody, and
Yeah.
Butterfly, instead of being like, oh, Bear's awake and would like to see everyone, it's like, Bear's awake and she's hungry, you better watch out, or there's a storm coming, and like everybody knows there's a storm, and instead of like, it's gonna rain, to take cover, it's gonna be a storm, it's gonna be the end of the world, we gotta move, right? And so Butterfly tells all these stories, but it's in verse, it's in rhyme,
Oh,
and
beautiful.
um and there's like a magic elephant who's like the wise elephant of the tribe, and talks to Butterfly, and Butterfly gets kind of punished. She can't do her job anymore, but instead, she gets it says all the words that she was using to tell these fantastic stories got
Right.
turned into these beautiful symbols that became these beautiful colors, and that's how she got these beautiful wings. And this was a
Oh,
reminder as she floated around for people to share words that inspire each other.
oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love
So
that story. That makes a lot of sense.
thank
Like,
you.
no, it really does. Well, I was just thinking as you were talking about how the butterfly got bored and changed the story, right? Don't we do that? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we do that. We embellish, blah blah blah, da da da. And we can go so far as to create a whole, hugely dangerous scenario that doesn't even really exist, except
Hmm.
for, in our mind, and then we're projecting that onto other people and situations, and that's all we see. So
Exactly.
and so for her to be able to change her words, change her stories, and they turned into these beautiful, beautiful colors on her wings, that's a profound transformation. That's
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm.
another.
Thank you for saying that, and I hope the kids like it. I mean, and
I
now that we're talking about it, I am remembering. I'm remembering more about why that text stood out for me and why I did the story, and because there were a lot of other stories that I wrote around it, and it was
okay.
at this time because this was at the like kind of at the beginning of the Black Lives Matter movement, when
Yes.
people were really starting to get into the streets in March.
Yes.
And I think I was either pregnant at that time or I just had Kite, and I was very frightened.
Mm-hmm.
And not just by like seeing these like young men going out in the street, I was afraid, but I
Yes.
was afraid for a couple of reasons. Because all I saw at the time was the danger. Because
Right.
that's what was always on the news. Danger, 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 danger,
Yes.
danger.
Yes.
And although there was danger,
Mm-hmm.
right, it was so much that like now, I'm having conversations with my friends that also have young children, and oh, they're 2 or 3 now. We need to start talking to them about, blah blah blah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
right, because it was this urge, because that's all we were being fed. And I'm like, I
Right.
know that there's more. There's
Yeah.
more happening. What stories am I going to pass on to my children? What do I want to tell them?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
that's what attracted me to these midwives, because there was a time, and they shifted, they changed the story that they were going to pass to their
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just really inspired by that. And
It's fantastic.
and I just want to encourage people to collect stories, that not to put on rose-colored glasses and be like, this
Right.
isn't
Right.
happening,
Right. Right.
but also, I mean, I think things have shifted since then, because there's been a lot of attention to just that.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah.
Isn't that interesting? I mean, um, let's see. I love it when you said, we we shouldn't put on rose-colored glass. I mean, so let's see. In your view, how do you acknowledge uh, the three-dimensional world that we live in and all of the goings on, and its possible dangers? I understand, you going through that fear about your son and how to talk to him and what you need to talk to him about. And I talk on this subject a lot with kids when I go into schools, and with LGBTQ kids, and with children here that I've met, certainly in New York, who are coming out as trans and knowing themselves as trans a lot earlier. And there are circumstances in their life that where they could be bodily harmed. Okay, so
Mm.
how do we acknowledge that and address that and stay firm and strong in what we know is true, what we know to be the truth of all human beings? How That's a big question.
Hmm.
Sorry.
No,
but
I
but
mean,
it's a worthy conversation, I think. How would you like address that kind of thing?
with
As
Kite,
a,
you mean, as
yeah,
a mommy, as a
as a
mommy.
mom. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I am figuring it out as I go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I gosh, I mean, with Kite, I have tried to figure out how to empower him.
Yes.
And so the one thing that I continue to tell him, which I probably no, I probably shouldn't have been telling him this so early, but is that he is in control of himself and no one can make him do anything, including mommy.
Wonderful. That's
That he
amazing.
is in control. And so this is one thing. And so I do tell him, and then we also I give him, like I say, what would you do? So for instance, when these things are happening, and he knows about it because he listens to the radio. He
Right,
loves music, but they have
right.
news. And so we talk about these things, and because he is 9, and even before that, his first inclination is anger, and to be angry at things, right?
Mhm.
And so one thing that I try my best is to give him a space for his feelings,
Mhm.
and to encourage him not to judge his feelings,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
And then we talk about like, okay, what can we do about this? What can you do about this in your little body
Mm-hmm.
for you?
Mm-hmm.
And he has always been awesome at coming up with solutions for
Wow.
things,
That's
right?
yeah.
And even for things that he doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time we did this was in 2020, and before that, I feel like I had, like I said, I think I started too early with with sharing certain things with him,
Yeah. Yeah.
and which yeah, that was hard to see his reaction because he didn't know, and it was too early.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's why I think I kind of shifted from trying to be honest and open with what's happening in the world,
Mm-hmm.
for his age,
Right. Right.
to just trying to just empower as much as I
Yeah.
can,
Yeah. Yeah.
empower,
Mhm. Yeah.
let him know that he's loved and,
Yes. Yeah.
empower him. And so 2020 happens and Black Lives Matter is going on strong, finally in Austria and here. And like, of
Mhm.
course, there's a lot I'm dealing with emotionally.
Of
And
course.
so he's
Yeah.
like, at that point, I don't understand what's happening, but you're my mommy, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna make some some what do you call them?
Oh,
Posters.
posters. Yeah.
And this boy went down to this march, and he is like leading people, singing.
Oh.
People were like, I mean, I posted this on on Instagram. He's just like, now we're gonna sing. We're gonna do this because this is what we can do in this moment. And you
Oh.
know, and he did this on his own, right? Or
Oh.
so that's one thing. Or like the last thing that he did, like some kids were getting bullied at his school with the snow,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that the cool thing about the empowering thing is he's just like, he feels good enough in his skin at this point
Yeah. Yeah.
that he's just like, okay, look, I can't stop the bullies,
Yeah.
but let's make some new rules.
All
So he
right.
goes around to all the different classes and he picks a representative. He picks one, like two representatives from each class. I don't know where he got this from, I'm telling you. And he's just like, these are the snowball rules. You can't do this. No throwing in the face. Everyone has to do this. And it's your job to go tell your class, right? And so
Bravo.
for him, and but I don't know. Like, I mean, but I'm hoping that this look, sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't.
Right. 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 No. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
these moments that come up, like I feel like okay, like
Hmm.
something is settling, something is
Yeah.
like because I don't think I would have been strong enough to do. I would have
Yeah.
been
No, I
like,
hear
just
you.
just leave me out of it. Let me go
Right.
hide.
Right. Right. No,
Um,
I hear you. That's incredible, Shanda. I'm like, this is so cool because when I meet young parents these days with kids and stuff, I see a huge difference in how a lot of kids are being raised as opposed to how I was raised, but not, poo-pooing my parents or anything. It's just what they knew and how they, were
yeah,
raised and all that. However, we've had enough of a generational shift to see that those who are parents now have choices that weren't available
hmm,
before. And I think of all that in spiritual terms, like you said, as so your goal was to empower him,
yeah,
so from the way I look at things and everything, you're teaching him how his intuition speaks to him.
hmm,
Does that how does how does that feel? I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but what I heard was, wow, I'm teaching him how to rely on, as my husband Glenn likes to say, the voice that likes you, that
hmm,
voice, rather
yeah,
than the fearful, hateful voice.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I heard, and I was in your story. I hope I didn't overstep or anything, but um
I mean, yeah, and I would even say like just integrating all of them, right? And not pushing
pushing
any of them
anything away.
away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, we talk about a lot of things, but for me, like that's one thing that, you know,
Yeah,
I think it's really important.
it
And
is.
it's like I said, it's challenging. I mean, especially, I mean, my husband's Austrian, I'm like Black American, so also like we don't know
Yeah,
like what it's like to be him in his shoes. So, he's got like other so many things going on. And I feel like, if he is like strong in who he is,
yeah,
then for me, I just feel like that's a great foundation to be
yeah.
able to handle, what's coming, because we also talk about you can't control anybody else,
You
you
can't.
know?
No,
So it's
no.
just like that's all you can control is you managing how you feel and your emotions. And I know that's a big thing for like a young child, but I feel like, well, this is, every parent has their thing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they want to drive home.
yeah. Well, I think that's amazing, and I appreciate it because it's a big thing for all of us, really. So those of us who were taught as children to stuff it down,
Yeah.
right, and not express it and everything like that. So now I'm speaking of myself, 60
Mm.
whatever years later, having the courage now to actually feel my feelings, right,
Mm-hmm.
instead of stuffing them down. And so now I'm learning, oh, I can feel that and I won't die, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that gives me a sense of peace, that I haven't experienced before, or I didn't experience,
Mm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
hugely important. I thank you for
Yeah.
the way you did that with you're doing that with him. Yeah.
So how are you addressing it with your kids?
Well, we in a similar way, really. I just had a huge day of workshops and storytelling with kids from middle school and high school at the New York High School of Fashion. I love that. I love
Ooh,
that place. It was so cool.
I didn't know about that
And
place.
what we started, how we started was by going around the room and everybody introducing themselves and their pronouns and what they're passionate about. And then as we made it through the room, uh, some kids were just could not connect, could not speak.
Mm-hmm.
So that was okay. Everything's okay, however you're feeling right now. We want to, the reason why we're doing this is we want to create a safe space for people to be held and know that everything's okay,
Mm-hmm.
right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that in I did that in every group, and then I shared a little bit about my story and a couple of songs, and then we went around the room and said, how does this resonate with you? Are there any stories you'd like to share? And the room just lit up, and the kids were like telling me everything, like from um, how mistreated they, how bully stories, but
Mm.
also stories of joy and victory and how their family supports them. And
Nice.
whereas maybe when I first moved to New York City and was a lot younger and met younger kids than me, they had been thrown out of their house for
Mm-hmm.
being for coming out as queer or trans or gay or bi or whatever, or drag, doing drag or whatever. People were
Mm-hmm.
thrown out of their house. And what I profoundly saw overwhelmingly uh, at this point in time were that kids were being accepted and loved by their families.
Oh,
And
good.
even if it wasn't their immediate family, then their grandmother or their aunt or somebody, in the family
Mm-hmm.
that they were close to, have been very, very supportive and instrumental in their peace of mind and self-love.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super proud of our young folks.
Yeah.
I believe the children are the future. I really do.
Me too. Me
Yeah, right.
too.
Yeah. So yeah, that it's just incredible to be with kids. I think I love them
Yeah.
very much. So, oh, How about another song?
Another song.
Oh.
Okay. The sound is okay.
Yeah, you're doing great. This is terrific. You recorded on something and you're playing it back and it's
Yes.
perfectly balanced.
Okay, good. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't
It's
know if
totally
I can do
working.
it. I don't know. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Here. We find the light that shines in darkness. We find the way to truth and love. We find the heart that beats our world. We find the light. We find the light. We find the joy between our struggles. We find a friend when we're alone. We find the truth that ignites justice. We find the light, yeah. We find the light. Find faith on the path that leads to freedom. Find hope in the newness of life. Sometimes we get lost within the night. Oh, joy comes in the early morning light. Find thanks for the light that shines within. Find time to keep the fire in you burning. Light shines somewhere way beyond the rain, way beyond the clouds. Underneath all pain, we find the light that shines in darkness. We find the way to truth and love. We find the heart that beats our world. We find the light. We find the light, the light. We find the light that shines in darkness. We find the light. We find the light, the light. We find the light. The light, the light, the light, the light. We find the light. We find the light, the light. We find the light. We find the light. We find the light. We find the Yay!
So I'm over here with my microphone muted, and I'm like trying to harmonize with you, and I'm
Oh my God! Yeah, we do a lot of the same thing.
I love it. I love it. I know, right? Oh gosh, it just thrills me to when you sing. I just love it.
Thank you.
So
Thank
I
you.
wanted to ask you. Well, there's another. I don't know if this is a book. I have noticed that you've been posting on Facebook Today's Joy, which I really, really,
Yes.
really love. And then I see on your website, chandarule.com, everybody, um, your book, The Butterfly, and also it looks like a book, Today's Joy. Is that indeed a book?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
This is new. This is new, and yeah, there's like a tiny story behind it actually.
Okay. Yes, please
So,
share.
so during the lockdown, I think we talked about like, there was a lot of therapy having because
Yes,
like I was at home.
yes.
And one of the things that we talked about, and one of the things that I continuously work on is how to express myself as authentically and truthfully as possible.
Yes.
And so, um, one of the things she said, well, why don't you try posting on social media? Right. And I'm like, no, I can't post on social media
Yeah.
because, my family's friends are looking and they're expecting this and blah, 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 blah. She's just like, well, just try something. Right. And so she said it and I was like, oh, I don't know. Um, but then there was also, I was getting therapy in a lot of different ways. So I'm like
Yeah.
having my little talk therapy. And then like, what you're saying, like, I believe the children, the youth are our
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, there are so many awesome things
Yeah.
happening on social media and Instagram. And I know a lot of
Yes.
people are like, oh yeah, social media. And I'm like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
these young people are working it. They are doing things, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I was discovering I discovered a lot of things, but one thing that I worked on a lot, which I had no word for, I mentioned earlier that there was a lot of bullying happening, and this was because I'm a dark-skinned girl, right? This is like becoming a more popular thing, but there's still a lot of issues with colorism. I had
Yeah.
no idea like what colorism was, never heard of it. I just thought there was something wrong with me because I didn't identify it like as like a color thing because
Right.
my parents really shielded me from that, but it caused like a lot of confusion. I worked
Mhm.
on this a lot, and there was a woman who um, I was listening to. She had like a weekly Instagram show where she was addressing colorism. And one thing that she said is that when she first started posting, that she really wanted to post pictures of herself because she had gotten so much pushback throughout her life about what she looks like, and
Huh.
that she wanted to like just post herself like this regular looking like dark skinned black woman all the time, right, to
Uh-huh.
normalize this because it wasn't a normal thing.
Right.
And so without getting into this, so what I told myself is, okay, I can combine these things. I'm going to make a commitment to like post pictures of myself and
Uh-huh.
post something,
Yeah.
right, some sentiment. And my like main spiritual practice over the last few years has been like a gratitude practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
This kind of mixed with like finding pleasure. So I'm
Yes.
like, okay, let me just start posting something. I'm just gonna call it today's joy. What's bringing me joy today?
Yeah.
And I did it for a year.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yes.
proud of myself. I did it for
I
a
know.
year.
I'm proud of you too. I saw them. I was like, "Ooh, that's good. I
Did
like that."
it. And at the end of that year, I was like, okay, I stopped. I was like, I want to do something else. I don't know. I don't want to really be locked into this. But then I had like all of these posts, and people had started like, okay, what's up with the post? What are you doing with this?
Yeah.
And then I realized like I had like this like I had like a like a pool is the wrong word, but I had like stuff that I could
Yeah.
do something with.
Yeah.
And I decided to publish a journal. And so
Ah.
so that's what it is. So there's like a beginning section on like how to use this journal with some tips on like how to integrate like a joy practice.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome. Oh, wow.
yeah, and I picked 52 of them because
Uh-huh.
there's this little movement called Self-Care Sundays. And so
Oh,
I figured this will be great. Maybe some people aren't doing a daily journaling practice, a weekly thing.
right.
And so there's a joy post, and then there's pages for people to observe however they want to write their own joys, see where that joy leads them. And
Uh,
so, yeah, it's a today's joy journal.
oh my goodness. Well, I have to get both of these now because that I want to do that. That sounds so much fun.
Thank you. Thank
That is
you.
great. Yeah. So, um, for everybody watching and listening, it's chandarule.com. That's ChandaRule.com. No, I really want people to, you know, uh, hear your music, and you've got so many. Wait, say one, two, three, four albums, I believe, or more. There's more on the way, I think,
Yes. Uh-huh.
according to what you notated here on your website. So maybe you
Yeah.
could tell us a little bit about the albums you have and uh, where you're going next musically.
Okay. Yes. So the albums that I have done so far, I mean, it's kind of like a journey through,
Yeah, yeah,
we grow through our music.
you do.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's hopefully all of it's inspirational in some sense. The
Yeah,
first albums were completely done on my own.
yeah.
Um, so the first three I did on my own. And then I've done two more since I've been in Austria, and those have shifted a little bit because they've been produced by someone else, and they were under like a specific label. So then one was like jazz,
Yeah.
and this last one that I had out, which was like, that was our pandemic year.
Yes.
So, but that was like close to my heart because they're all mostly old spirituals from the
Yes.
African American tradition.
Yes, I was reading about
Um,
that on your website. You got a great review for that. Wow. Is that I Too Speak of a River? Is that the
no,
one? Okay.
that one is Hold On,
Okay.
and that was like a huge shift because I met some that album was like magical. Like we did all of the music and arrangements in like one evening, and I met like two people that I have continued to write with, who I love.
Wonderful.
Um, and so we have a new project coming out, which is all originals, which I think is the first time that I've done an all original project. And so I guess the trajectory again is it's this theme of like how to um, have the courage to just share like my own words and put
Yeah.
myself out there. And so
Yeah.
uh, that will be that next one. Then I also have a duo project, which is something else I love doing and was kind of discouraged from doing. Like, oh no, nobody wants to hear like guitar and voice, but I love it. So
Yeah.
finally
Yeah.
last year I was just like, I love this. I'm doing it. I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm doing
Yeah.
it. So
Oh,
actually, the songs that I sang today are on that album.
oh, wonderful. Okay.
Yes, it'll be coming out. And then, oh my God, the last thing I know, if last year was a productive year, it was a
Oh,
productive
good.
year.
Yeah.
Um, then there's this river project, which is like, I think that we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about this project because we were, another friend who's a writing partner. Um, he was commissioned to do this project, and that was to do a modern version of Duke Ellington's Sacred Concerts, right? It's just like, what? So,
Wow.
but it turned out, yeah,
Wow.
like this project, I'm super excited about it. My friend orchestrated it and I wrote all the texts, and I wrote
Wow.
it in a liturgical format. And what they wanted was they just wanted an expression of the times, just like the
Yeah.
sacred concerts from Duke Ellington were. And it was challenging because as I was, I mean, researching, like trying to figure out what was going on with the community in America here,
Yeah.
there was so much tragedy and hurt, and it was really hard to figure out what to do with this musically and artistically. And then I realized at that time that there are not a lot of like liturgies or rituals of lament,
Yeah. That's
you
true.
know? And so I was like, this is what this is gonna be, but we're not gonna stay in the lament. We're gonna acknowledge this, and we're gonna
Right.
like take this journey to
Right.
joy.
Right.
And
Right.
so that's what it was, and it turned out really well, and I'm really proud of this project, and it's massive, and it's orchestral and like there's
Got it.
choirs and
Oh,
strings and
fantastic. You're
like
kidding. That's amazing.
yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Oh,
I put a link to the text on my website, but we just did a recording of it in November, and there and like audio and video, and so by
okay.
April I'll
It'll be
have
coming
some
out.
previews up.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that's what's coming. That's what's in
that's
store.
well, you know what? That's awesome because I will be featuring this interview in April. So there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Shanda, how
Yes.
exciting.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, that is just wonderful news. I can't wait to hear that project. That's really, really awesome. And gosh, we're gonna have to have you on as another a guest another time because there's so much I want to talk to you about, but I think we're sort of time-wise at where we
Yes.
should be
Okay.
for now. But could you do one last song? Do you have one do you have another one perhaps?
I don't have another original. I have a cover because I
Oh, that'd
wasn't
be great.
sure. Is
That's
that
fine.
fine? Okay,
Please.
hold on, let
Okay.
me.
Sorry, I put you on the spot there, I think.
All right. I might like okay, you know what? Words are just words.
Yeah,
So this is my version of this cover. But
there we go.
this is a beloved song. I love this. This is a song from Ricky Byers.
Oh, yes. We do love her very much.
Yeah. This is edited, this
Yes.
podcast,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I can't remember how I like started the song in the
That's
beginning.
okay. No,
So
I'll
let me,
edit
hold
it.
on, let me just see. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I just wanna, okay, so I know you're gonna be singing along with me with this one. Okay, here we go. I am listening to this rhythm of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a song God is singing. I will listen all day long. I will listen all day long. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah. I am dancing to the spirit of the holy desire. Oh, what a song God is sprinkling. I will sway and move all day long. I will sway and move all day long. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, yeah. Hallelujah. Hey. There's a silence in the stillness of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a joy God inspires. I will praise the Spirit all day long. Praise the Spirit all day long. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah. yeah, hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah, oh yeah, hey, yeah, oh yeah, hey, yeah, hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah, oh yeah, hey, yeah, oh yeah, hey, yeah, hallelujah. Oh yeah, hey, yeah, hallelujah.
Wow, I love that. It's one of my favorite songs of hers, and I love that. We used to sing that at a Unity church I went to. So
Yes,
yeah,
we
uh-huh.
sang that. Yes,
Yep.
I hope you didn't mind my slight lyric changes.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Just like, yes.
Well,
My memory, and then when I'm like, oh my God, I gotta sing the song, and then all the lyrics are just like not there.
that they're coming in. So that's really wonderful because you embodied it, right? And like it became a part of your your consciousness. And so spirit gave you the perfect words. There you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh gosh, as always, I love chatting with you, and we thank you so much for being here in the sanctuary.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for inviting me.
yeah, so we didn't get to speak about your podcast, but uh, you do have a podcast. It is called The Courageous Voice,
Hmm.
and I'm a guest on your podcast.
And you will be on my podcast, season two.
And coming up,
Yes.
and so what's the best website to for everyone to access all of your wonderful offerings? What do
To
you think?
everything.
Yeah.
Shandarule.com.
Okay.
And there
All
are
right.
links to everything there.
Yeah, there are. That's what I always do. And then you have all your albums and all your books, and your podcast link. And let's see. Oh, and when your new album is coming out, it'll be
Everything
on
will
your
be
website.
there.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Reverend Chanda Rule.
Thank you, Reverend Yolanda. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome, and thank you. And give my love to your entire family.
Thank you. You too. You too.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye. Oh. Oh, I know we ran just a tad bit over, but thank you for being here and sharing the joy with me. That is Reverend Shanda, and I love you all. I love us, and thank you for this wonderful time together tonight.